to compassion, and to unity. We are ordinary people, yet our hearts are ablaze with an extraordinary passion, a flame for God, for humanity, for our collective future.
Corazones ardientes, pies en camino.
Jista' jkun messaġġ għall-Mixnedju għal-ħajti kollha għaliex kemm nixtieq li dejjem ikolli qalb imħeġġa kif inġibha.
无论我们遇到什么困难，都要保有望德，只要有这份来自天主的恩宠。
We endure storms and climb mountains, strengthened by our shared purpose and fueled by a faith that transcends borders and unites us as a global family.
Amar y servir a Dios y a nuestros hermanos.
To carry Jesus, the Word and the Eucharist to every person in pain.
Lipsei se spune așa de victorie în lupta vieții noastre, în drumul vieții noastre. Iisus să rămână cu noi.
We do not serve alone, but in partnership, rooted in our communities, nourished by the bonds we form. We work hand in hand to build a better world. One prayer, one act.
وعمل واحد ومشروع واحد في آن معا.
Com os nossos corações cheios de amor e compaixão, podemos andar juntos para construir um mundo melhor.
Fare questo cammino e portare Gesù tra i poveri.
From remote villages to busy cities, we provide vital support in healthcare, in education, making positive changes that reach far beyond the boundaries of our faith. This year, we reach out to you and invite you to walk this journey with us, to discover the power of mission, of unity in diversity, of strength in compassion.
With burning hearts, with our eyes open and our feet in motion, we can all work to alleviate the sufferings of people of God in different parts of the world.
We are still here. We are missionaries. Hearts ablaze, feet ready to tread the path of service. For we know in this global tapestry of humanity, every thread counts. And together in mission, we are weaving a brighter future. Join us. Let's make a difference together. With hearts on fire and feet on the move.
Very warm good morning. It is just a few minutes to midday East African time. You are right on time this Thursday for this conversation on the Pontifical Mission Society, specifically focusing on the Mission Sunday that will be marked on the 22nd of this month of October, this coming Sunday, 2023. It is a very global or international commemoration in the Catholic Church, and that's why we bring you this conversation. Of course, we had a similar talk last week, but today we need to delve deep into what this Mission Sunday is all about. Every year we are committed to bring you this talk just to enlighten you on what is happening, and most importantly, to delve deeper into the theme of the year and how best do we practicalize it as Christians in our faith. And now joining me in the conversations, none other than Reverend Father Bonaventure Luchidio, the PMS National Director. Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Sasha.
Thank you for coming.
I'm always grateful to be here.
So I can see you are wearing a smiley face. Is this just a sign of that we are ready to go for the mission?
Yes. Yes, the mission is here. The mission is here, and the work of God has to continue. Right.
We've braced ourselves up for that.
Yes. We have prepared ourselves in heart and mind.
Exactly.
Right.
All right. So welcome, and I'm happy to host you this morning.
All the pleasure is mine to be here.
Great. Hearts on fire, feet on the move. Such a gripping and mind-blowing theme of this year 2023. We are going to get to know more about this theme that was suggested or passed over to the Catholic faithful globally by the Holy Father Pope Francis. This will be due shortly. We'll be doing this shortly, but as it is the tradition, we value your feedback and we are here for you, ready to respond to any questions or queries that you might be having about the World Mission Sunday and the Pontifical Mission Societies. My name is Sasha Elizabeth. I will be moderating this conversation with my guest, Father Bonaventure, and as our number remains 0717-424-866. You can still contribute or weigh in the conversation on our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube. So off we start with our discussion. You are a director of the Pontifical Mission Societies in Kenya, right?
True.
So what are these PMS and who founded the mission societies?
The mission belongs to God himself. The mission is the mission of God. But the idea of mission within the Catholic faithful came in along the lines of expansion. When the Spain and Portugal were on those expeditions to find what is beyond the horizon. And whenever they went with a priest. And that is how they even came to the corner of Kenya. 1498, they were here, the Portuguese. So mission is about going. It's about leaving your territory and going to new lands. And this idea came to the church through a lay person later in time. Later in time. That is Pauline Marie Jericho. But it had been in the church from as early as the time of Paul. Paul was a missionary. He left Jerusalem and went as far as Spain, as far as Malta, as far as Cilicia, to Rome. Yeah. So mission has been there. But now, to define it and give it practicality, now it comes in the years 18.
At a later stage.
Right. Yeah. 1622. Then now, Pauline Jericho starts an association which she called Association Propaganda Fide, Association for Propagating the Faith, in 1822.
Right. I've heard the name Pauline Jericho. I think we discussed about her sometime last year during
the time of when she was being canonized into blessed.
Yes.
Right.
All right. So when was the first Mission Sunday celebrated? That's quite an interesting subject that everyone would wish to know.
Now, the first Mission Sunday worldwide was celebrated in 1926. 1926, and this is after Pope Pius the 11th was given a proposal from the Association of Propagation of Faith to have a day when we can remember our baptismal responsibilities. And so this day that was promulgated, it is the second last but one in the month of October, right? It is we call it the penultimate Sunday of October. That is the day when we come together as a church to remember our faith, the gift that we received from God, the gift of faith, and how we are using that gift in our daily lives. And so that is the reason why we have World Mission Sunday. This will be the 97th, if I'm not wrong, the 97th.
Wow, we're almost clocking a century.
A century.
Great.
Yeah, from 1926. So in the year 2026, we shall be celebrating 100 years.
Yeah, exactly, on the 14th of April, right?
Right.
Great. So now there are dozens of Sundays in a year. For instance, this year, 2023, we have about 53 Sundays. Why do you think the Pope instituted just one single Sunday in the year to celebrate Mission Sunday?
It's basically to show the importance of mission in the church. Because every day we are participating in mission. Every occasion, every Sunday is a mission. That is why at the end of Mass, the priest says, go, the Mass is ended. He's doing what Jesus told the apostles. Go therefore, make disciples. Yeah?
Sort of commission.
It is a commission. So every Sunday we are commissioned to go. And then we come back with feedback. All right? So there is this one Sunday. You see, when you do things over and over, you tend to forget the essentials.
And the value.
Right.
And the significance.
So this one day is to remind us of the fundamentals that we have in the mission. And that is education, evangelization, education, and empowerment. So on this Sunday, three things are coming out very clearly. That we need to evangelize, we need to educate, and we need to empower. And that comes in three modes. Evangelization, preaching. Education, teaching. Empowerment, witnessing.
Wow, that's quite strong. All right, so we need to evangelize, educate, and empower.
Correct.
This year. So I'd like to take you back. Was it in 2021 when the theme was baptized and sent?
2019.
2019, yeah. So how can we as lay people be also missionaries? Because there are people who just relate mission work with the religious women and men. And how can they join in the missionary activities of the church?
Beautiful. That is a very good question, because even you see now we are at the synod. Yeah, the synod began on 4th to 29th, and the Pope is very categorical on this: the role of the lay in the works of evangelization. When we talk of evangelization, we are talking about spreading the good news, taking the joy of the gospel. So it is not just a prerogative of one category of people in the church. It is a prerogative of everybody by virtue of baptism. And so, by waters of baptism, we are given a name, identity. And that identity gives us a membership in this assembly called ecclesia. Once we get into this ecclesia assembly, we have responsibilities. And that one of the responsibility as a baptized person is you have to preach, because you are a priest, common priesthood. Right? You have to witness, because you are a prophet. And you have to teach, because you are a king. So those three offices that are given to us because of our common priesthood need to be given priority. And you know, when we'll reach heaven, one of the questions is, we gave you these offices, how did you use them? Will you say, you know me, I was a Catholic, so it was the work of the priest? No. We have a responsibility, and that is what we talk about talent. How are we using the talents for the mission of God? Every one of us. And that is now how even teachers, when you teach those children with passion, you are doing the work of evangelization.
Mm-hmm.
You as a broadcaster, when you broadcast with passion and help people to reach to the understanding of God, you are in mission. So all of us, wherever we are,
Mm-hmm.
even
in whatever capacity,
regardless of the job or the function,
mm-hmm.
whether it is the smallest or the highest, we are all in mission. And the mission is one: evangelization, taking the joy of the gospel to those who don't have that joy, sharing our talent, our goodness, our faith with that other person who needs it, being there for one another, fellow feeling, the relation feeling. That is mission. And that is what we need to understand as lay people and the ordained and consecrated people.
Aptly put. Now, you mentioned that you are a priest, you need to preach. So this aspect, leave alone the prophet and being the king, it's a question that always pops up. How are we all priests?
Asasha, the Catechism of the Catholic Church teaches us very well that through baptism, we all become priests, what we call the common priesthood. All right? And that is the foundation. That's the foundation. Because from that common priesthood, we are now members of a church. We can commune. We can come to this assembly of believers. What opens our doors into the church, any Christian church, is the waters of baptism. So by baptism, we become priests. Kings, and prophets. That is a teaching in the Catholic Church and the CCC, Catechism of the Catholic Church. So baptism is very powerful. And you know, baptism is the door to salvation. In the economy of salvation, baptism. And baptism comes in three ways. You are baptized by water, there is baptism by blood, and baptism by desire. So we have the Christian who has been baptized, and we have what we call anonymous Christians. Those by desire, they might not know that they are professing, but by actions and what they are doing, they are desiring to know Jesus. So they are anonymous. They don't know, they don't profess, they don't say, but in their anonymity, they are actually part of the journey to salvation.
Great, so thank you for that, because as Capuchin Television, we do not discriminate on anyone. We have loyal audience or followers who are from other Christian denominations who really support us, and we also have other religions who follow some of our programs. So it's very paramount to get them to understand why should we call ourselves priests or common priests, prophets and kings in that order. So thank you for that, Father Luchidio. Now, let's, before we get to understand what your office is doing in preparation for World Mission Sunday, let's go straight to the theme of the year.
Yes.
It has been really reiterating in my mind, Hearts on Fire, Feet on the Move, and it's quite intriguing this year, 2023. Could you please expound more on this theme and tell us what is the Holy Father, Pope Francis' end goal in giving the church this theme?
The end goal of the Holy Father is that all of us, we will enter into the eternal banquet, that we shall join our God, our Creator, in that sumptuous meal the banquet. Actually, the end goal is salvation. Salus animarum. But how do we get to that? The process now is in your heart. You must feel something that will make you question your actions, question your doing, question your living, and ask yourself, am I participating properly in the process and salvation of myself and others? And so he brings out this theme at a point where faith in some places is diminishing, whereas in some other places faith is growing. But also there is also what I can call a misuse of faith. People are using faith to do wrong things. So within this environment, he brings out this theme to speak to us and tell us, what really can we do? What really can we do? The first thing is that I must be evangelized in order to evangelize others. So evangelization starts with me. Is Jesus really in my heart? If Jesus is in my heart, then I can speak about him to somebody else. But if he is not in my heart, then I cannot. You cannot give what you don't have. The Latin say, nemo dat quod non habet. You cannot give what you don't have. So if Jesus is not in my heart, then be sure I'll not give what is not there. And that is now the invitation, that let us invite Jesus in our hearts, so that he stays in our hearts and he gives us now the momentum to be on our feet, to go. And how do we get Jesus in our hearts? Silence. Silence. Jesus speaks to us in silence. What are the moments that I have with Jesus? You remember, actually, the Pope is using the journey to Emmaus. That story on Emmaus journey. These people were confused, dismayed. They had put a lot of hope in Jesus, whom they had seen as a conqueror, a great person, an orator, somebody who does great things. And now that man is dead. So they were going home to Emmaus, downcasted, frustrated, depressed. Or you can use all the adjectives that you can. But that made them not see properly. And so when Jesus arrives and walks with them, they did not recognize him because of worries, because of that cover of frustration, dismay, confusion. Yeah? It is only at the breaking of bread that they recognize him. Breaking of bread. And that is where now they say, didn't our hearts burn while he was speaking to us? You see the background. So there is a lot of confusion, a lot of frustrations, a lot of dismays and so on in the society. What message can we bring to the people? The message of hope, a message that will uplift them, and that can only come from a heart that speaks to another heart. And a heart that speaks to another heart can only speak if there is joy, if there is kindness, if there is love between one heart and the other. And so our message is not just on for the mind. This is a heart-to-heart speaking. Cor ad cor loquitur. A heart speaks to another heart, then the mouth talks.
All right. What a way to pass that message. Quite a strong message. I remember one of the preachings of His Grace Philip Agnolo. He was speaking about vanquishing and having a heart-to-heart conversation as believers, as Catholic faithfuls. So this is something that cuts across so many things in our religious life, right?
Not just religious life, any sphere of life, any sphere, relationships, even bipartisan talks. There must be that.
In the political arena.
You are the one saying it. Me, I talked of bipartisan.
Okay.
Yeah. If there is no heart-to-heart talk, there is no conversation. Conversations begin because my heart is at peace with your heart. And that is now the burning fire. And once that burning fire comes in, our feet will always go. And so
provided we reignite that fire in our hearts.
Correct. And you know what reignites it? Forgiveness. Where Saint Francis of Assisi is very good. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, let me sow pardon. That is what ignites the fire of love, a burning heart. And you know, heart is love. Yeah, heart is love. If we were not talking about love, we would talk about the mind. But when we talk about the heart, that is the space for love. And so love is what drives anybody. I want to use a very...
Go ahead.
I don't know how to bring... But in the olden days, when men used to court women, they would go at night and hide in a corner. What would drive them? Mosquitoes and everything, they are there, but they are there. It is love, you know? Yeah. So love drives you to do some crazy things. Yeah. And it is love that made Mother Teresa to go to India. It is love that made St. Francis Xavier to go to India. It is love that makes missionaries go to the mission. And it is love that will make any Christian to stand with the mission.
I concur. All right, so you mentioned something on what can we do as to play out this role quite oppositely. Now, being the church, you mentioned about a man who is in love is not distracted even with the surroundings, what is happening. We are living in a world that is plagued with so many distractions, so many things around that sometimes put off our embers of that fire in our hearts. So being in the church in the contemporary times, how can we be the church on the move?
You know what is missing in the world today? What is missing is love. People are searching for love. And who is love? God is love. So what is happening in the world is we have put God on the side, and now we are searching for him without him. And just like St. Augustine says, long did I know, and I searched in vain, until when my heart found you, and in you my restlessness has become restful. My heart has become restful. So what is disturbing the world is the search for love. So God looks very like amepotea. lakini sisi ndio tumempoteza. We have removed him from our discussions. We have removed him from our daily activities. We have, in fact, there is even a push to remove sacredness from the society. And we are calling it faith is a private matter. Once we do that, then crisis after crisis. So this theme is reminding us of that fundamental thing that we are all searching for. We are all craving for. The crisis in the world. The crisis is because we have lost sight of love, and until we return love at the center of all our activities, we will continue pushing and pulling. And so competition, aggression, bad blood, and so on. But you know, God is a cooperation. God is a cooperation, not a competition. So where there is competition, God is relegated. Where there is cooperation, God is
exalted. Thank you very much, Father Bonaventure, for those hefty words describing what we are lacking in our contemporary world and how best we can get our feet moving with hearts burning with love. My director says it's time to take a breather, but we'll be right back shortly with more on this conversation, World Mission Sunday. Stay tuned.
Pope Francis says we all have a mission. We are all called to be witnesses. Witnesses to love, to compassion, and to unity. We are ordinary people, yet our hearts are ablaze with an extraordinary passion. A flame for God, for humanity, for our collective future.
Corazones ardientes, pies en camino.
Jista' jkun messaġġ biex ngħidu għal ħajti kollha għaliex kemm nixtieq li dejjem ikolli qalb imħeġġa kif inġibha.
无论我们遇到什么困难，都要保有望德，只要有这份来自天主的恩宠。
We endure storms and climb mountains, strengthened by our shared purpose and fueled by a faith that transcends borders and unites us as a global family.
Amar y servir a Dios y a nuestros hermanos.
To carry Jesus, the Word and the Eucharist to every person in pain.
Lipsei, să spun așa, de victorie în lupta vieții noastre, în drumul vieții noastre. Iisus să rămână cu noi.
We do not serve alone, but in partnership, rooted in our communities, nourished by the bonds we form. We work hand in hand to build a better world. One prayer, one act.
وعمل واحد ومشروع واحد في آن معا.
Com os nossos corações cheios de amor e compaixão, podemos andar juntos para construir um mundo melhor.
Fare questo cammino e portare Gesù tra i poveri.
From remote villages to busy cities, we provide vital support in healthcare, in education, making positive changes that reach far beyond the boundaries of our faith. This year, we reach out to you and invite you to walk this journey with us, to discover the power of mission, of unity in diversity, of strength in compassion.
With burning hearts, with our eyes open and our feet in motion, we can all work to alleviate the sufferings of people of God in different parts of the world.
We are still here. We are missionaries. Hearts ablaze, feet ready to tread the path of service. For we know in this global tapestry of humanity, every thread counts. And together in mission, we are weaving a brighter future. Join us. Let's make a difference together. With hearts on fire and feet on the move.
Welcome back, dear viewer. I am glad that you are still keeping tabs with us right here on Capuchin TV this Thursday morning. This is the second session of our discussion on World Mission Sunday, and with me in studio is Father Bonaventure Luchidio, the National Director of the Pontifical Missions Societies, abbreviated as PMS, and we are doing this ahead of the Mission Sunday on Sunday, that is the 22nd of this month of October. And of course, we appreciate the fact that you are following us, and I just wish to get to I'll go through some of your feedback that I had spotted earlier on, but for now we continue with our conversation, and you are free to contribute or to send any questions. We'll get the right person here with me to respond to the questions revolving around PMS and Mission Sunday that all eyes are focused on. That's the 22nd. Welcome back to the second session, Father Luchidio.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yes, Mission Sunday. This is quite an interesting subject. Pontifical Mission Society. It's always good to. I remember there's a time you mentioned that you can give by going or go by giving.
Oh, you remember
that?
Oh,
that is mission, right?
That is mission, and PMS
yes.
needs both.
Yes.
Yeah.
During the
mission
conference.
needs giving and going.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yes.
And then receiving.
That
you receive when you give and you go.
Mm-hmm. Right. I remember that was during the annual Fide Donum conference.
Sure.
Yes. So we move on with our conversation on Mission Sunday. Now, you as a Christian would be asking yourself, how can I as a Christian participate in the mission works of the church? The best way you can, so I'll allow Father to fill us in on this. How can I as a Christian or the person who's watching take part actively in this mission?
That is why we are here. We are inviting Christians, and especially the lay people, to participate in the mission activity of the church. How? 1, prayer. Pray for the missions, pray for your church, pray for all those people participating in mission. And just as the way you have said, there are those who give to mission by going. They have cut across, it is called cross-cultural moves, right? And these cross-cultural moves is not just going overseas. I will give you an example. A diocese like Marsabit, a priest from Sololo, they are Gabras, and he is ordained a priest for Marsabit, and then he is taken to work in Ileret. In Ileret, they are the Dasanach. This is the same diocese. These are people with 2 different cultural backgrounds, but they have one belief. So this priest from Sololo becomes a missionary to those in Ileret. All right? So mission is local, and then it expands borders. It expands borders. And when we talk about cross-cultural, it means you engage with people not of your tongue, not of your tradition, but all kinds of people. And what are you taking to them? You are sharing with them the love of Christ. And once you share with them the love of Christ, these other cross-cultural boundaries, they collapse. And you become one. You are united in faith. And what unites us are these hearts. And that is the burning heart. So that is the first way. So when you pray, when you are praying in Lunga Lunga, and another one is praying in Dukana, and another one is praying in Navaholo,
or Busowa in Uganda.
And the other one is in Boston praying for the mission. it unites us into one family, and that is the family of mission. We are praying for the same God, and that is the universal
church. Interesting. Now,
then the second way in which a Christian can participate is now donation, both in material and finances. You donate for the mission that there is that church that needs to be built in that remote place. Let me donate. Now, in Kenya, we have a new diocese of Wote. This new diocese needs a lot of support. How can we be of support to the bishop and the Christians of Wote? PMS. Now, support. Where shall we get that money? Now we come to you on Mission Sunday and we ask, donate to us, so that a diocese like Wote, a diocese like Katsina in Nigeria that was carved from Diocese of Sokoto, and other new dioceses, new mission territories, they can be supported to continue with the works of evangelization. So the giving also is a very important unit in mission. And then there are those who donate themselves. They say, I have this skill, I know how to construct, let me do this for you. In a parish, a Christian can donate himself and say, with my skill of architecture, I'll draw the drawings of this church. That is mission. You are using your talent for the evangelization. Another one will say, for me, I will use my skill to make benches. My carpentry skill to make benches. Another one will say, me, I'm a plumber. The house of the priest, I will do the plumbing. That is mission. That is mission. So those are the ways we can participate. So mission we participate in prayer and donations, giving.
Now, speaking about prayer and donation towards mission, how are these funds distributed out?
That is exactly what I was saying. This money comes from the parishes. Then from the parish, they are taken to the diocese. The bishop then brings that money to us at PMS, and we have a consolidated fund, a universal solidarity fund, what I call a universal basket, where all these monies from all over the world is put together. Then it pools and it becomes some lump sum money. Now, each diocese in the mission territories, they apply for a project, like a church. They are building a church, they are building a convent, they are renovating a house of the priest, they want to put up a health facility, a clinic, they want to do programs for catechists. Now that is presented to us through the bishop. He writes a project proposal to PMS in Rome. And once it gets to Rome, then we allocate monies depending on the amounts in the basket and the requests. And then remember, since the projects can be more than the sums of money, we only give a subsidy. If the basket is heavy, then there is more money to be given. If the basket is light, like during the time of COVID, then there is nothing to be given to the bishops.
Okay, thank you for that input, Father Bonaventure. And allow me to just read some of these messages or rather feedback from our viewer. Fermin Koech says, kudos to all the missionaries who braved their way to bring the gospel to Africa and to the whole world. Blessings to you all men.
I appreciate that.
That is Femin. Thank you, Femin, for watching. We have also Teresia Njeri, who says she's tuned in from Kaugwe Parish. Thank you, Teresia. So we really appreciate you watching and sending your feedback. We are here for you. So any question that you have around this subject of discussion, feel free to keep them coming and we'll respond to them. Now we move on with, let's get back now to your office. What do you do? What activities is your office organizing in preparation for the celebration of the World Mission Sunday?
For the World Mission Sunday, our office was very, very critical in bringing out messages on Hearts on Fire, Feet on the Move. We went through our Facebook accounts, PMS Kenya, YouTube accounts. We have been giving out messages about Hearts on Fire, Feet on the Move. But what have we done? One, we have developed a poster, which we have sent to each and every parish around the country. A poster, blue poster, you will see it everywhere, blue poster with World Mission Sunday, Hearts on Fire, Feet on the Move. So that poster is to help us to reflect on that. Then we have sent out cards, prayer cards. One prayer card for mission. We are praying for missions. And this time, from 13th up to 21st, we are doing what we call the novena prayer. The novena prayer for missions. And then we have had occasions where we have been going around talking about it on TV, like what I'm doing today, on radio, Omini, and other radios. I have had encounters with communication agents in the country, and I've told them about it. I've had encounters even with the bishops to talk about it and talk more about Mission Sunday. I've written letters to priests, reminding them about this. And above all, I am inviting the Christians, both religious men, consecrated and ordained, and the lay people, to really think about it and donate on Sunday. And those who want to do a personal donation, personal, direct to us, they are also free. They are also free to do it through our Mpesa account 164085, and you put your amount and write missions, or you can write to us a check. A check. We will really appreciate KCCB PMS. That whatever you give, it goes to the mission. It doesn't remain with us. It goes. We are only mediators, conduits, a pipe through which it passes, because structures. But nothing remains with us. Everything comes to us. We give it out.
So besides prayer and donations, is there any other way somebody can be part of the PMS activities in this country?
Yes, we have animators. You can become an animator to talk about PMS and teach children on how to become missionaries. And you see, that is the foundation, children. And so we want to make children grow up knowing about mission. So you can become an animator to talk about missions, to learn about missions, and to teach about mission. You can also join us in the PMU, Pontifical Mission Union group, the Pontifical Missionary Union. Although it is not yet strong in the country, but we are trying to see how we can revive it in the country, so that these are the members who are the soul of mission because of their spirituality.
And they are open, all these are open for both lay and religious faithful?
Yes, yes.
What is the procedure for joining?
The procedure is you go to your parish priest and you request to become an animator. And from there it begins. Then we will be called for training. Yes.
So you have to be recommended by your parish priest.
Oh, yes.
Great. All right, the message is home, and at this point I can see that our time is almost up. And before we close the conversation, I just wish to hear from Father, just as a parting shot, in as far as Mission Sunday is concerned. What do you wish to tell the viewer, and what significance should they attach on this one-in-a-year day?
Thank you, Elizabeth, for that. And my parting shot to you, the viewer, is: we are mission, you are mission, together we are mission. Let us go to mission with joy and a smile.
Indeed, and you have exemplified that smile.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Father Bonaventure Luchidio. We really appreciate the work that you are doing with the team and the Pontifical Mission Societies, and we continue to support you in whichever way we are able to, financially, through prayers, and even going to serve ourselves in the different unions that are available under the umbrella of PMS.
I really appreciate that.
God bless you.
God bless you too, and thank you.
Great. So we really appreciate your time, dear viewer, and it is really important to note that you are in whatever capacity that you hold, low or high ranking, you are able to evangelize, to educate, to empower the community of God without limits, beyond borders. So you need to stand up and move, be on the move with a burning heart. So we are called today or this year to ignite our hearts, set ablaze our hearts, and move towards mission work, that is evangelization. As Capuchin TV, we are proud that you are part of this move, because we evangelize through broadcasting, and we really appreciate all those that have been supporting us to fulfill this mission for the past 6 years. You might be running, but hello, take a break. Ask yourself, what is it that, where am I going, and what impact am I leaving? As Father puts it, drawn from Saint Augustine, that our hearts are restless until they rest in God. Only when you rest in God will you realize a meaningful and impactful rest from your life and different aspects of life. So I wish to appreciate the team that has been working behind the scenes to bring you this live special talk on World Mission Sunday. On camera I had Alan Andiva and Brian Mboji. On the other side of the gallery, those working manning the sound, we have Frederico Cheng. On visual mixing, we have Priscilla Wanjiru and Samuel Cherubor. And of course, we have Peter Mwangi on the transmission, making sure that you can get us in the best way possible on our social media platforms as well as on television. So we don't need to punch your hearts to fire. You just need to ignite it to yourself. I think it's easier that way, right?
Yes.
Yes. My name is Sasha Elizabeth. I have been your captain, moderating this conversation. And as a punchline, I just reiterate the words of the Holy Father Pope Francis, who says that we all have a mission. We are all called to be witnesses. Witnesses to love, to compassion, and to unity. We are ordinary people, yet our hearts are ablaze with an extraordinary passion, a flame for God, for humanity, and for our collective future. This is an early wish for you. Happy Mashujaa Day that will be marked tomorrow on the 20th of October. See you next time. Goodbye.
Pope Francis says we all have a mission. We are all called to be witnesses. Witnesses to love, to compassion, and to unity. We are ordinary people, yet our hearts are ablaze with an extraordinary passion, a flame for God, for humanity, for our collective future.
Corazones ardientes, pies en camino.
يكون messaġġ biex ngħidu għal ħajti kollha għaliex kemm nixtieq li dejjem ikolli qalb imħeġġa kif inġubuha.
无论我们遇到什么困难，都要保有望德，只要有这份来自天主的恩宠。
We endure storms and climb mountains, strengthened by our shared purpose and fueled by a faith that transcends borders and unites us as a global family.
Amar y servir a Dios y a nuestros hermanos.
To carry Jesus, the Word and the Eucharist to every person in pain.
Lipsa se spune așa de victorie în lupta vieții noastre, în drumul vieții noastre. Isus să rămână cu noi.
We do not serve alone, but in partnership, rooted in our communities, nourished by the bonds we form. We work hand in hand to build a better world. One prayer, one act.
وعمل واحد ومشروع واحد في آن معا.
Com os nossos corações cheios de amor e compaixão, podemos andar juntos para construir um mundo melhor.
Fare questo cammino e portare Gesù tra I poveri.
From remote villages to busy cities, we provide vital support in healthcare, in education, making positive changes that reach far beyond the boundaries of our faith. This year, we reach out to you and invite you to walk this journey with us, to discover the power of mission, of unity in diversity, of strength in compassion.
With burning hearts, with our eyes open and our feet in motion, we can all work to alleviate the sufferings of people of God in different parts of the world.
We are still here. We are missionaries. Hearts ablaze, feet ready to tread the path of service. For we know in this global tapestry of humanity, every thread counts. And together in mission, we are weaving a brighter future. Join us. Let's make a difference together. With hearts on fire and feet on the move.
Na hii Capuchin TV ni chombo kizuri sana, na chombo hiki kazi yake ni evangelization. Kwa hivyo ningeomba mfanye mambo matatu. Jambo la kwanza, tafadhali wewe enda uangalie Capuchin TV. Kuna mambo mazuri sana, kuna maombi, kuna watoto wanafanya mambo mazuri, kuna mafundisho, kuna misa takatifu kila siku. Kwa hivyo tafadhali ukipata nafasi utazame Capuchin TV. Jambo la pili, uwaombee kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo wanafanya. Manake ndio TV ya kipekee ya Catholic na mabishop wanaisupport kabisa, manake inafanya kazi mzuri. Kama leo, kama kuna watu wako Italy wangependa kuangalia what is happening leo, wangepata nafasi. Kwa hivyo muwaombee sana kwa hiyo kazi nzuri ambao wanafanya. Na jambo la tatu, muwasupport. Wewe wana Paybill number, watumie hata ni kama ni $2. Kwa hivyo tafadhali muwasupport, muwatumie kitu kidogo kwa Paybill number na mambo hayo ili waweze kuendelea na hiyo kazi. Kwa hivyo asanteni Father kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo mnafanya.
Tuendelee kufanya kazi. Paybill number 51068, account name capstv.
Na hii Capuchin TV ni chombo kizuri sana, na chombo hiki kazi yake ni evangelization. Kwa hivyo ningeomba mfanye mambo matatu. Jambo la kwanza, tafadhali wewe enda uangalie Capuchin TV. Kuna mambo mazuri sana, kuna maombi, kuna watoto wanafanya mambo mazuri, kuna mafundisho, kuna misa takatifu kila siku. Kwa hivyo tafadhali ukipata nafasi utazame Capuchin TV. Jambo la pili, uwaombee kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo wanafanya. Manake ndio TV ya kipekee ya Catholic na mabishop wanaisupport kabisa, manake inafanya kazi mzuri. Kama leo, kama kuna watu wako Italy wangependa kuangalia what is happening leo, wangepata nafasi. Kwa hivyo muwaombee sana kwa hiyo kazi nzuri ambao wanafanya. Na jambo la tatu, muwasupport. Wewe wana Paybill number, watumie hata ni kama ni shilingi 2. Kwa hivyo tafadhali muwasupport, muwatumie kitu kidogo kwa Paybill number na mambo hayo ili waweze kuendelea na hiyo kazi. Kwa hivyo asanteni Father kwa hiyo kazi mzuri ambayo mnafanya.
Tuendelee kufanya kazi. Paybill number 51068. Account name capstv.
Na hii